When you first try to write down what you're thinking, you might not know where to start, which is extremely frustrating. The easiest answer is to start with whatever is most top of mind. However, I recommend checking out this list when you start to brain dump. And if you do the onboarding process of the Barbell System, this exercise is a part of the step-by-step guide. And it is called Mindsweep from the Getting Things Done methodology originally. And it's a powerful way to remind yourself of everything you would, could, should, must, have to, ought to, etc. do. Have your task manager and note-taking app at hand when you read the following list. If you think, oh, that reminds me of X, write down X as a separate task on the options list. If you come up with ideas and other spontaneous journaling during this exercise, write them down on your separate note-taking app. There are only 2 steps. Step 1 is to dump your thoughts when you read this Mindsweep list. We'll start with problems. Every problem, negative feeling you have, whether pain, worry, resentment, or anxiety, needs to be captured and identified. What is taking more mental bandwidth than it deserves? An example could be, my back is hurting, which means schedule doctor's appointment. What if the presentation for the client is going to fail and I'll make a fool out of myself? Then this revisit the presentation for practice and tech check-in. I hate when person X does this all the time. Becomes resolve situation with person X. What if I get laid off and cannot feed my family? Then it is get clarity about the current job situation and backup options. And after you've written down every problem that you can think of, and there are a lot of problems for everyone, so this one should be easy to come up with. Then you look at the calendar for the past weeks for any follow-up to a meeting or event. Also, look at the future weeks for something you need to book or prepare for. There can also be upcoming events, such as birthdays and anniversaries. And examples could be, I need to figure out what we would do at the team offsite, or I need to call person Y back, which will be develop sales campaign, or I need to book the trip coming up in 2 months. So these are examples, including mom's birthday, as I've elaborated on the previous episode. After that, you have everything you could possibly find in your briefcase, bag, wallet, backpack, purse, pockets. What objects have you collected because you will do something about them in the future? An example would be, if you find a business card, then you could follow up with a potential contractor from a conference, and everything you find, because it does have a meaning to it. I mean, it's there because of a reason, and it's now that you try to find it. So go look around to see where all these things are in briefcase or backpack, etc. And while you're still walking around, you should also take a note of your physical environment. Walk around your home, car, office, desk, cabin, and look for things that are just lying around without a place. There can also be things you need to repair, things you need to do, or things you need to buy. And examples could be documents on desks that reminds you to sign the form and mail them, old clothes, which could remind you to sort them and decide whether to keep, give away, or trash, or clean the garage, assemble the necessary tool and schedule time for it, or buy new headphones. Then another category that could be quite important as well is the professional development. Is there anything you want to learn, build, and start to advance your career forward? For instance, training workshop X, to look up and request participation from it. And lastly, personal development. Is there any hobby you want to pursue? Any skill you want to learn and become better at? Any exercise you want to start? An example could be learn Polish. So look up the best material and schedule time for reading, listening, practice. Learn to paint or other hobbies, or simply put in the exercise. Start running regularly. Research a good beginners program with small distances with gradual improvements over time. And I will link in the show notes a full incomplete triggers list originally from Getting Things Done for more inspiration. Now we arrived at the step 2, which is separate your obligations from your options. So start with look at your task manager and go through each task one by one, latest first. And for each, ask the following magic question to separate your obligations from options. Will there be too many unwanted consequences if I do not do this task at all? Will there be too many unwanted consequences if I do not do this task at all? If no on that question, just move on to the next task, because now you accept that this task is a choice, an option, not something you have to do. And if yes, it's an obligation, then you do the following. Copy the task to your obligations list. In Google Task, you can also click the task itself and change the list from options to obligations via a separate dropdown. Then set the latest due date you can get by with. This is to avoid procrastination by starting as late as possible. Then go to your calendar and set aside time to do this task in accordance with the date you've assigned on your obligations list. You can either type obligations for the calendar event or the name of the task, simply copy over, or simply nothing at all. And then move on to the next task and ask the same question as before. If there will be too many unwanted consequences if you do not do this task at all. When you have gone through all of your tasks, the exercise is over. Leave your ideas on your note-taking app as is. Feel the tangible sense of relief. Tomorrow, we will uncover the best way to organize all your information and to build your very own second brain.